Well, here's another weird kind of situation. There's an artist named Lil Loaded from Dallas as well.
Yeah, I just heard his name. I've been hearing his name recently.
Someone we've interviewed.
Okay, yeah.
Earlier this year.
Murderer's Row.
Once again. I remember when I first started doing interviews, I would go to people's neighborhoods. I'd go to these kind of shifty kind of studios and do interviews with people, and people pull out guns. They would wave guns in the camera, they'd pull out AKs and everything else like that. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. Look at all this crazy looking footage and everything else like that. And I've always told people, even recently, I remember putting up a couple of tweets like, hey, listen, dear cameraman, like, stop shooting these interviews with a whole bunch of guns. Stop shooting these music videos where people are waving guns around. Because unlike a real movie set, there's not an actual gun expert on site making sure that everything is safe. These guys are shooting videos in neighborhoods where their enemies might roll up, so people are literally loaded.
Oh yeah,
cocked and loaded in these interviews.
Those guns work.
Those guns work. And Lil Loaded, from the story that I've heard, he was shooting a music video with his friends and accidentally kills his friend, this guy named Savage Boosie. And he went on the run for a while and he turned himself in.
That's what I heard.
Earlier this week for accidentally killing his friend with a loaded gun. That's the story I've heard. And it's just like, man, if you talk about the number of lives that are ruined by this split-second situation, like, what the fuck?
But that's like my old buddy, Jayson Williams.
Oh, you know Jayson?
Yeah.
I've interviewed Jayson.
I've known Jayson forever. We're a very old and dear friend. And obviously you know the story that I had to him. He shot the limo driver accidentally.
With a shotgun.
With a shotgun to the chest.
Showing off the gun
to
some friends. Well, to some of his players.
Yeah. His, players, and he had a lot of Globetrotters on. Globetrotters was over because they were playing. And it was just a tragic story. And ultimately, what Jay ended up going to prison for wasn't that. It was trying to cover it up.
Although
if he came clean, it would have been a whole nother story.
It'd still be manslaughter though.
Yeah, but it would have been, he'd have saved a lot of money because it drained him.
It didn't drain him that much.
Oh yes, it did. And then the wife took the rest.
Oh, he didn't mention that part. Because he got some ridiculous contract before he retired.
He got $84 million.
There we go, $84 million. You're not going to tell me that trial cost him $84 million.
He went through a lot of dough behind that, because he buffed it off for years. Like he didn't, from when it happened to when he actually had to start serving time was years. You know what I'm saying? But look, I mean, it was just like you said, getting back to just being an accident. I mean, Jay has a heart of gold. He wouldn't hurt anybody. But you playing around, and something tragic happened.
Yeah,
and I remember before he had to go serve, I went out to visit him. At his home, and he's showing me around this incredible estate, the Who Knew estates or whatever. His dad built it. And he took me all around. The place is beautiful, and the pool and the basketball court. And finally, he got me up to his room, the master bedroom, and where it went down. And we're both kind of standing there, quiet.
You didn't move after that?
Not right away. This was in the interim. So we're both standing there in the bedroom, real quiet. And I just looked at him. I said, Is this where it went down? Is this where it happened? And he looked at me and he said, yeah. His whole life got flipped. And it was a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? He was ascending in his post-basketball career. He was Charles Barkley before Charles Barkley. Go back and watch Jayson Williams on NBC. Doing the studio show for NBA basketball. Hysterical, funny. Free speaking, just like Charles tell you who we like, who we don't like, who's a good player, who's garbage, who's trash. And had a hearty laugh, great looking, looked great in a suit. Jayson was always usually the best looking dude in the room. Charming, funny. He was going places. But having spoke to him, not that long ago, He's on a whole different tip now. He's about helping people with substance abuse issues and alcoholism issues, and helping them get their lives back together and getting them on the right path. And he loves it. He feels great. He looks great. With this mess going on right now, I'd love to get an opportunity to go down there and kick it with him, because we used to spend a lot of time together back in the days back in New York.
Yeah, no, he was crying during our interview.
I went to prison for 27 months for obstruction of justice was the main charge, and that's where I'm at.
Well, when the gun went off and he got hit, what was the first thing that started going through your mind? Because obviously it was an accident.
What the hell just happened? Yeah. It was bam, and what the hell just happened? And then I just panicked, and
because we all cried. It broke our hearts. Obviously, we cried for the driver's family, because that was just terrible. He didn't deserve that. He and his family didn't deserve that. But just knowing Jay, like, he's just a beautiful guy, man. He's just a beautiful person, man.
Yeah, no, I liked him. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I got so many stories about Jay that I can't tell. Don't worry, Jay. I ain't gonna do it. But I won't tell.
And in our interview, we really talked about his childhood and the trauma he went through with, like, his sister, getting beat up, and then dying, and then both of his sisters catching HIV, and then
both his sisters died.
Both of his sisters died behind that situation of his sister getting attacked, and then he had a chance to kill the guy, and he ended up walking away from it. So, not to say anything, that these things led up to it, but he had a lot of demons that are hard for any human being to really deal with. So.
I know. Our friendship was really like a special one, because we were both kind of on the rise. He was at St. John's. His star was getting ready to rise as a basketball player. Kid and Play, we were just starting to bubble. And we spent a lot of time. He had this big red pickup truck, a brand new red pickup truck. And we spent a lot of time up in there, late nights, drinking in the playgrounds at Lower East Side, and just talking about, man, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And we always try to support one another. When he opened up that sports bar, Big Daddy's, downtown in New York, we were there all the time. Us, Derek Coleman was there all the time. Ed Lover, all the rappers and the hotties would come down there, and we would kick it. And those were like great days, And then stuff just started. Life was starting to change, like for all of us. You know what I mean? Jay get hurt, and, Play and I we were on a hiatus, and the music started changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you turn around and you're like, you're like a relic overnight. You just like, they were flipping on groups like us and Kwame, and we had to get low and find other things to do, until the storm passed. But now we're back.